Think you need a lawyer in 2025 to copyright your music? That's cat, and I'm here to prove it. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, my name is A.M.N, music producer and your guide to the music business without all the gatekeeping. If this sounds like you might want to stick around. You can also follow me and my brother Zen for more fire music and tips like this at A.M.N Pro Beats on IG and TikTok. Let's get into it. So before I teach you how to copyright your song, let's talk about why the hell you should even copyright anyway. There's going to be two major reasons for this. One, that's the only way to obtain legal proof of ownership in the US. I promise you, if you try to poor man's copyright, you're probably going to get thrown out of court. Two, is the only way to actually protect your music in the event it is stolen. Let me say it again. Copywriting doesn't actually prevent your music from being stolen. If somebody wants your music, we have like AI stem separation technology and a bunch of other things that make that possible. The whole point is making sure that you can protect yourself in the event somebody does steal your music. Now that we got that established, let's learn how to copyright your song. First thing we're going to do is log on to copyright.gov. Come on, I'll show you. If you do not have an account, I urge you to make one. It makes this process a lot more simple. It allows you to look at all your forms in one place. You can look at previous applications, and you can even save your work and come back to it later. What I recommend as a pro tip is doing all of these ahead in advance. What you can do is you can save all of your applications and you can keep them open so that basically if you need to change something, you can, and as you create, you could just be ready to go. Anyway, so now that we got your account all set up, let's work on getting that copyright application completed. I know it looks like a lot. Bear with me here. I promise you it's a lot easier than it looks. All right, first you're going to click on type of work. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because I honestly feel like this is the whole point of the copyright application. If you don't understand what you are filing, then that means your protection is already lost. Okay, so bear with me. A sound recording is a file. It refers to a file of a musical piece. It is usually referencing the master recording of a song, whereas the composition contains your melody and all of the different parts that you think of when you hear a song, okay? The file is not what you think of when you hear the song. Most people, when they think of a song, they start singing it, or they say, oh, you remember how that go? And they start singing the lyrics, okay? So that's how you can differentiate between the two. 9 times out of 10, if you are a music producer, you are going to be registering a sound recording with the Copyright Office. You are working with a DAW or a piece of analog equipment with something that contains music in a form, in a file, in some type of medium. If you are an independent artist, you're going to register a work of the performing arts because a work of the performing arts refers to the composition. After you submit the type of work, you're going to move on to titles. And basically, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to name your work. Next, you come to publication and completion. So I wanted to note a few things here because it's important to understand who the publisher actually is if you have a publisher. As an independent artist, you are the publisher by default, unless you've given that right to an individual publisher or publishing company. All right, moving on. Year of completion. It's important to note here that you place the year the song was actually created, not the year that the song was filed. The next section is authors. Authors are basically the original people who made it, okay? Pretty self-explanatory. Claimants is a little bit different. Copyright claimants are people that you can designate your rights to. If you did that, you list that person here. So this limitation of claim section is not something that I have a ton of experience on, to be honest with you, but I will explain it for the sake of the video. Basically, you're going to use this form when you have some song with pre-existing material that doesn't need to be copyrighted again. So basically, you're only going to copyright the new material and list what's already pre-existing somewhere in this form. Make sense? The special handling section is something I don't have any experience with either, but I do understand what it is, and thank God I've never had to use it. This section is for people who need this service expedited for some reason, and I would think it's probably a court case because I can't think of any other situation. This is an $800 service, okay? $800, and basically once you pay them, they still say, well, it's not guaranteed that you're going to receive this service any faster. But at the same time, $800 should guarantee that to me. So I would just be very careful. I would probably never use this unless I truly had to. So now that we've gotten to certification, you're going to sign your name and attest that you were human and this is the truth and blah, blah, blah. Next, you're going to review your submission. Make sure everything on this file is accurate before you submit, okay? Because once you do, you cannot change the information anymore. You are officially done. How easy is that? If you're serious about protecting your music and getting paid, don't sleep on this process. Better yet, right here on the show, I drop weekly tips for artists who want to stay smart, independent, and paid. So definitely hit that like button and drop your comments and questions. I'll be sure to cover all of that in future videos. See you next time.